Hey, it's Daniel, and you are about to watch a clip from our free podcast, The Coach's Journey, where we help you navigate the surprisingly difficult path of building a coaching business by people who are actually doing it. And we go live, raw, and unedited every week in our free Facebook community. It's really kind of ego that's talking here, where it's like I took it so personally that I couldn't keep on going out there and putting myself out there in the line of fire, so to speak, because then suddenly I have to admit that I got work to do, that I got things to learn. I'm not actually as good as I think I am. This is a lot of the psychology that I think I've been through, and so it's really easy to not put yourself out there because you think you're a good coach because it's fragile. So that's why thinking I'm a good coach is not a useful belief. The point Faisal made is like, are you actually showing up for your people in front of you? Like, are you showing up even in the connection calls? Like, I think, like, how am I showing up in the connection calls? Am I showing up with presence, with actual connection? And then am I leading people to the discovery call? Am I showing up the best I can for people who hire me? Am I showing up the best I can every time? Like, the question isn't am I better than somebody else? The question is, am I getting better than my past self? And am I showing up for my clients? And you know that because, as Faisal says, they're signing up, they're renewing, they're referring, they're providing testimonials. These are the signs that your skills are that you're a better coach than you used to be, perhaps. And then what happens also is that if you're not putting yourself out there and engaging in things that would demonstrate that, because whether you're afraid or whatever the reason is, then you're not going to actually test that. You're not going to test yourself in those situations, which means you're not going to test the value of what you're bringing to the marketplace. None of which has anything to do with your personal value. Like, that feeling of rejection has nothing to do with you. It's more having to do with the value of what you brought. And honestly, just showing up with presence can be really valuable to people. So there's a lot of different versions of what's valuable, and it has nothing to do with necessarily comparison.
And I love that you're bringing there might be a hidden subconscious belief or fear or something behind it where and you can see it, and usually we don't know what's in people's mind or heart. What we do know is how they show up in the world. What's the evidence? What's obvious? And one thing we know that, well, why don't 90% of the coaches do the work? Why don't they actually put themselves out there? And jokingly, sometimes I would say is that why aren't you shouting from rooftops about your message and about supporting people? Why are you a hidden coach? That's something to self-reflect on and go deeper, because very likely there's a part of you that is scared to show up, and that's very likely related to the image that you have of yourself as a coach or a business owner. You don't want to fail, you don't want to come off short, or you don't want to show up in a circumstance where you're not fully serving somebody. Like all those are valid. We all have it. But then what you can measure it by is how often are you showing up and how consistently, no matter the rejection, no matter the discomfort. And that discomfort and the honesty or dishonesty associated with it is the actual thing that actually moves you forward or holds you back. And it's like I just talked to a coach today, this morning, who said, you know what, I did this webinar and I completely stopped. And I didn't know if she meant she stopped in the middle.
In the middle or
I didn't
after the
know. So
webinar?
she just said that and she moved from it. And then I had to bring it back. I'm like, what did you mean by that? Did you stop in the middle of? She's like, no, I did finish it, but I don't think it worked. And I know exactly what she means because I did that too. I still remember my first ever webinar that I did. It was so uncomfortable. You know how we have, like, now with Zoom calls, you have a bunch of people on it. We still have the webinar platforms. I don't know who uses them, but in the past we had Go webinar or something. I did my first
Go
webinar on
to,
that.
yeah.
Uh, and I remember there were a bunch of people who were there, and I was talking. I was the only one on video, and I was kind of presenting something. This is like 9 years ago. So I still remember in the middle of it, I was like, "Are you guys hearing me? Am I just talking to myself?" Because I
Did
wasn't
they,
getting.
did they say anything in the chat?
They weren't saying anything, so I didn't know how to engage them and get them to share things. So I kept stopping and saying, "Is everybody hearing me? I don't know if anybody's listening."
And did you ever get any reinforcement on the webinar? Like,
No, well, I did that once, and this is the crazy thing. I
total
even got a
crickets?
sale on that. I got a sale on it, and my perception was that was horrible. And I didn't do that for the next 6 months.
Even though you got a sale?
Even though I got to say, look at the
Coaches, we're
perception of
so
it.
funny sometimes. Like, I've done this so many times. I can't even count. I would do something and it worked, and then I would change and try to do something different to work better. But what I should have done is do the same thing again and get
Because I was
better.
so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable with the process, and I was so afraid of
Yeah.
like, am I actually delivering value, not? But I didn't know that the process of business is that you keep testing until you get more feedback, more data. And that's the challenge. As you, when we say that coaches think that they're better, then deep down they probably don't. But on the surface, they're not fully honest with themselves.